So my name is Leon Laster, and I am 52 years old. I am a retired police officer from Montague Police Department, where I served 23 years in total. Unfortunately, my career came to a abrupt ending October 13th of 2019 when I was injured. 20-year-old kid crashed into my house 3 in the morning, thought it was a good idea to drive away. I went out to render aid. At this time, I thought someone was, bleeding or needed help. The kid was conscious, alert. They were talking. It was a passenger. They were talking amongst themselves. As I'm telling them, hey, it's okay, turn the truck off. They wouldn't listen. They're revving the engine, rocking the truck. Long story short, I go inside, retrieve my badge, my gun, and my cell phone. I go back. I identify myself as a police officer, thinking that would quell their actions. It didn't. They kept going. At this point, I did what in my mind is a felony stop, where I drew my service weapon, pointed at him, and ordered him out. Passenger got out, secured him, go to that side of the passenger side of the vehicle, pointed at the operator, exit him, get him out. I'm not coming out. Get out of the vehicle. I'm not getting out. So after I put my pistol away and had the truck off, I reached in and actually pulled the keys out. Requested twice that he get out. He wouldn't. So as a police officer, my job is to go in to escort him out. So as I'm entering the truck, he swings, and I catch just in time to duck as he grazed the top of my head. I throw a defensive punch to his jaw, slump him over. I grab him, and I immediately start trying to extract him out of the vehicle. A couple tugs, he's on the ground. I secure him down there, call 911. The cavalry shows up, they take over. I sit on the porch. Fire department comes by because they noticed me looking at my hand. I had a weird feeling, the palm of my hand kind of burned and stung a little bit, but there was no open wounds or anything. Nothing was disfigured. So they offered me a ride. I refused it, but I told them I would go to the ER on my own. So before all the commotion, they were even done there, I jumped in my vehicle and I went to the ER while they were still on scene. Doctor checked it out. Well, it's not broken, but we want to get you, to see an orthopedic. I went in, saw orthopedic. They arranged surgery. I had two. The first surgery was more of an exploratory thing. The second surgery was more in depth. I think she found it and they repaired it. I started doing OT and everything. It was right around the second, right before after the second surgery. That's when I started hearing grumblings about possibly not. Actually, she wanted to do a third surgery, and I asked her for a second opinion. I went to a hand specialist, and he pretty much made me start thinking that, hey, I can make it better than it is, but it'll probably never be like it was, and I don't know what's going to do for your career. So that's when I started thinking about the whole retirement thing. I've never been one to chase ambulances or sue people. I'm sure I've been in a million incidents in my lifetime where I probably could have got paid, but that's just not my mentality. It's never been my mentality. But I must admit, I was absolutely shaken to my core to hear the words, "You may have to retire," because I still had 10 years left. And I absolutely love what I did. So with that being said, I, in my area, started going around. I went to 5 different attorneys. I'll leave names out, but some of which I've worked, with in the criminal justice system. And I went to them, and every one of them said, it's an act of God. Nothing you can really do. Maybe you can go after the car insurance company. You may get 25 grand or something. The monetary figures never mattered to me. I wanted justice, for myself, and this abrupt life change. What was going to happen to my kids? I have 2 children. I'm the sole provider. So now what's going to happen? So after those 5 different attorneys at 5 different times, this happened in October. I want to say it was probably, I mulled it over for probably almost a month, I think, maybe a little bit longer. Happened to be talking to another friend of mine, law enforcement, and I was telling him, I said, dude, I don't know what's going on. They talking about I may have to retire. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So he's like, talk to a lawyer. I said, dude, I called 5 of them. He's like, He goes, call this guy. So who is it? He's like, trust me, Zach Balin, call him. Great guy. He's like, he'll talk to you. He'll shoot you straight. And this guy and I have been friends since I landed in Massachusetts in 1995. I give him a pass because he's a New Yorker and I'm from Cleveland, but great guy. We made good friends, and I took his advice, and it wasn't a wrong choice. It was not a wrong choice. I wish I would have gone to Zach before, I checked with those 5. I wish I'd known about it. But now, hands down, if I ever needed any services in that area again, he's the first person that's going to come to mind. During the process, it was different for me because being a cop for 23 years, I'm used to the criminal side of the court system. So I'd never been in the civil side. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to do. I was rattled because I'm used to being cross-examined and, beyond a reasonable doubt. And Zach, he put my anxiety to rest for me. He walked me through the process, told me what to expect. Basically, he didn't coach me on anything. He just told me to be myself. That was the best advice I think he could have gave me. And I was so used to being a police officer, I felt I had to present a certain way. But, the biggest thing is just I'm a human being, and my actions that night I took, I've been asking myself that question over and over. If I had it to do over again, what would I do differently? I don't think I would do anything differently because I know in my heart I did the right thing. And Zach was able to paint that picture. We talk about attorneys being good and being able to paint a picture for the jury. He definitely did that. I couldn't be more happy. It almost felt like I was in a movie watching like Matthew McConaughey and, in that movie with Samuel L. Jackson where he gets his point across. He didn't have to use dirty tactics. He wasn't snippy. He wasn't condescending to the other attorney or to anybody. I mean, he didn't have to be. He was very factual. He was very approachable to the jury. He was he respected the jury. So everything he did, seeing the behavior of attorneys throughout 23 years, the professionalism is unparalleled, and he'll shoot you straight. I had a conversation the first time I met him. He says, listen, we'll review it, and if we take you on, we're going to work for you. And he absolutely worked for me.